for me, like as I say, like I've got five now. My youngest is 5 years old, and as I say, I enjoy cooking, and cooking's been part of my routine since before the kids came along, really. Um, but for me now, my kids cook with me. So my 5 year old, she'll make cakes with me. Like, when I say cakes, it's not like anything fancy, just a tray bake, a brownie or an old school cake or whatever. But
Yeah.
me lads, 23, coming on 18 and coming on 17, they can all cook, they can all iron, they can self-function, which obviously for me is a big part of being dad. So obviously, again, if I've been in work all day, I come home and I'm cooking. If my daughter or my son will stand next to me and help me cooking, then it's not ideal. It's not. I say it's not ideal. It probably is, to be fair, because we're having that interaction. It's not obviously play. We're not rolling around on the floor and stuff, but it's productive interaction. It's quality time with my kids, and obviously they're learning life skills, and
Yeah.
obviously as well as the social side of actually, well, we're at, we're we're gonna eat this
You're
for
working
tea, or
together.
well, that's
Yeah.
it. I've got to the point
Yeah.
now where my brownies are constantly on order, because we kids all take them into school and dance classes and things like that. But
Yeah.
me 12-year-old, to be fair, me 12-year-old Arshal, she'll come in and she'll be like, "Well, Maisie wants a brownie. Maisie and a family want a brownie. It's such a body's birth." And I'm like, "Well, make one." And she can. She can sit there and make it herself. Obviously, it's better when we do it together. We've got this little routine where we hail the brownie spoon, but I won't go into all that. It's just sort of that stuck.
No, no, please do.
It's sort of that stuck from when she was little. But apparently the brownies are better if you hail the brownie spoon. But anyway, but yeah, as I say, I mean, she's 12, and obviously I do the oven for her, but she can do it herself.
Yeah.
And obviously, because she's been doing it for that long, I could actually trust her to use the oven herself. I just don't, because if I'm there, there's no point in me leaving it down
Yeah.
to her.
That's the point.
But that's it. And as I say, even like my lads, like not that they'd admit they could, but they can actually throw an iron over the clothes. Because I'm not doing it for them. They're 16, 17, and 23 now. They're old enough to do it themselves.
Yeah. I mean, it
And
will have been good for them to have seen to grow up watching you do these things because obviously years ago it was traditionally just mum who will be doing the washing and doing the cooking, and it's good for them to have that sort of positive male role model who's sort of showing them that it's all right to get stuck in around the house and you're helping mum out, you're helping the family out, and you're doing your bit. And it's to be expected. It's not something like you were mentioning, or the dad saying they're not getting a pat on the back for doing the hoovering. It's you just do it because it's got to be done. It's just work that's got to be done. Um, so yeah, it will have been really beneficial for them to see it, and it's just made me think about my lad. He's as I say, he's 3, and he's already mad into cooking. Like any excuse to help me make a butty or anything, it takes 10 times longer, and it makes like 10 times more mess and things like that. And sometimes it's just, oh, I just wanted to make a quick butty and be done with it, and now I've got a cookie cutter out. Now I've got a star-shaped butty, and it's got all sorts of different stuff in it. But he's learning, and it's a nice time to spend with him in real terms. It's a nice bonding experience, and it'll all sort of pay off in the end. And it's just interesting hearing you say about that.
well, that's it. And I think even for me, like again, I agree with you 100%. So like these times where like not so much with Sean now, she's older, but with the younger one, really sorry about my cough.
That's all.
But this times with the younger one where she wants to make a cake, I'm like, yeah, Sam, let's make a cake. I'm watching all the eggshell go into it. So the minute she leaves the kitchen, it's like let's bang another cake together quickly. So it's not necessarily one that she's helped me make, but it happens. But it's the same. Like when I moved into this house, the house where I live now, our Charl was, I think she was 3 or 4, and she used to love helping me paint. So we'd go like in the living room or one of the bedrooms and we paint, and then she'd go to bed, and then I'd have to repaint. But at the same time, it was either that or I just looked at it as it's a base coat. Do you know what I mean? It is
Yeah,
what it is. I'll need doing again. But it was again for me. It was that time with my daughter and then with my son. It was that bonding time. But it was it was the practical skills they gained from it as well, which obviously at 4 would seem slightly irrelevant, but now they're a bit older and they can actually do it. It makes it a lot more a lot easier when, like, now they're older. If they do help, it is actual help.
Yeah, yeah. And it's even so far as like the toys and things like that. Like I have to sort of, if they're making a picture and I can see that they're ruining it or they're going to spill a load of water on it or, they're making a mess of something, I've just got to sort of stop myself and just sort of think, these aren't my toys, they're yours. Do you know what I mean? That they're yours to do what you want with them. I've got to sort of take, take some of that control away from myself and give them that independence to sort of explore things, let them do things wrong, let them make mistakes with whatever it is that they're doing. Because again, it's learning for them, it's exploring things, it's trying new things, and it's sometimes really easy to forget just how little they are and how important spending the time with them is and how important it is them actually learning this stuff. So yeah, there's loads of times where I'm doing things and they're trying to help and they're making things worse, but it's for them, it's not for me. That's what I've got to sort of remind myself about sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. And like, I'm sure it's something that every parent's experienced when your child wants to do that, wants to do colouring. So you got the colouring books out, they're doing one colouring book, you're doing another. You've stayed all in the line, you've done quite an intricate thing, and then they go, "Oh, Dad, let me help you finish." And you
Yeah,
watch them absolutely cane what you've
ruin
just
it.
been doing for the last half an hour, and inside you're dying a little. But as you said, it is, you're doing it for them, and it's something that they're trying to help. It's a good quality to have in a child, that the fact that they are wanting to help, that they're wanting to engage, but it still doesn't help the fact that they've just absolutely destroyed your colouring then, does it?
No, no, you still got it, but you just have to take a step back with it. But yeah, it's interesting, and it's interesting how the topic of the conversation is sort of naturally shifted from supporting partner to helping your child develop the same skills that you're doing, because ultimately that's the whole point of what it is that we do, isn't it? It's one of them where we support partners through those initial stages and through those first few years as best that we can, and it's all with baby in mind, and it's all with with growth and development of the family and your baby in mind. So it all goes hand in hand. Like even really inconsequential stuff, which may not seem important, like we were saying, is really really important in the grand scheme of things.
Well, that's it. And I think, obviously, I mean, I know you're a hands-on dad as well, and I think for myself, like, supporting partner now is not what supporting partner was 30 years ago. I think it's important to understand that. Well, actually, if that washing needs doing, that's a household job. It's not mum's job. And actually taking ownership of some of these jobs and making them your own is not, obviously, it does support mum because it means she doesn't have to do it. But it's part of being a dad as well now, because both parents, I know obviously women generally get a lot more time off with maternity leave, but being a parent in the 20s generally involves either both partners going to work or neither partner going to work, because you can't afford, quite often families can't afford to live off one wage. So if both families are going to work, then that responsibility of the stuff that needs to be doing in the house, that responsibility needs to be shared. And again, if neither partner are going to work, then again, that responsibility in the home then becomes a shared responsibility. It's not one partner's job and not the other. And I think that, as you said, the conversations naturally move from, well, how do you support mum, to what can dad do? Because it is supporting mum, but at the same respect, it's part of your dad. Your role as being dad now is throwing a wash on, is doing the dishes, is cooking a meal.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was 21, I think, before my dad ever cooked me anything other than beans on toast or cheese on toast. If my mum was out, not that she was ever out very often at all, But if my mum was away from the home for whatever reason, like me and my brother both knew we were either getting beans on toast or cheese on toast that day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it was similar for me.
it
Like
weren't a
my
reflection
dad
of.
took early retirement, and it was exactly the same. He just started cooking what he knew how to cook, which wasn't a lot. And we had a good few years of when he, after he retired, of just having just terrible meals. But he was trying, and he got there in the end.
And as I say, like for us, it weren't a reflection of what was in the cupboards. Like my dad worked hard, my dad had a good job, so there was always plenty of food in the cupboards. It's just it was a reflection of the culinary skills rather than
Yeah.
more than anything else. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
even to this, like I'm 42 now, and we've just spent the weekend at my mum and dad's. They live over in Anglesey now, and my dad was going to do the barbecue, and I was like, no, no, I'll do the barbecue. And I ended up cooking a barbecue for, like, obviously myself and my family, but like they had, I think they had 6 or 7 friends over as well, and it was, basically I ended up cooking for everybody because it was either me or my dad. You know what I mean? And
I was gonna, that would have been a massacre if that would have gone wrong.
oh, honestly, it's but it went down quite well to be fair. But yeah, so on the Saturday morning, I was prepping all the food and obviously getting all like the skewers ready and things like that. But my daughters, I don't know what it is with my daughters, both my daughters, my 5-year-old and my 12-year-old, insist on me trying the blow drying the hair. So my wife was sat on the couch, happily leaving me to it while I was prepping all the food. The first daughter gets out the shower, comes through, Dad, will you dry my hair? So I had to take a break from what I was doing to dry one of the hairs, and then um, got back to what I was doing. And then the second one got out the shower, Dad, dry my hair. I
Uh,
was like, oh, Mum, do it. They were like, nope.
at least it wasn't midway through the barbecue. That would have been worse. You'd have burnt your sausages at that point.
Yeah, I think so. But and again, but the fact that my daughters want me to blow dry the hair, like I
Yeah.
think I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. The reason I can do a blow dry so well is because I can't do a plait. So pinch straight blow dry or ponytail, I've got it. Anything else, obviously, that requires mum skills then. But I think if you'd asked my dad to blow dry one of the girls, is my dad's head would fall off completely. And again, it's because of the era that he was a dad, you know what I mean? And dads were dads and dads provided and mums stayed at home and mums looked after the house and the kids, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. And
and
even from the outside looking in, a lot of people would just think, "Oh, that's really lovely that you do that." But for you, it's probably just like a second nature thing because you've always done it. You know what I mean? And
well that
it's you wouldn't realize until you've got one of your own, that it just becomes second nature. These things aren't like a cute thing. It's just part of what it is.
well that's it. And like obviously, you know yourself, like for me, one of my biggest bugbears is when I'm out with the kids and somebody says, oh, are you babysitting tonight? I'm like, oh, actually I'm parenting. Do you know what I mean? They're
Yeah,
my kids, I'm not
yeah, yeah.
babysitting anyone. Um but but yeah, I think obviously like it's a hang up from an old era. But I suppose in the respect that mums don't get the credit they deserve for actually going out and working these days. I don't think
Mm,
dads get the credit they deserve for what a lot of dads actually do. Don't get me wrong. I know there's still some mums that don't work. I know there's still some dads that do very little around the house. But I think in the same respect that we acknowledge that women are going out and working, we should actually give dads a bit of a pat on the back as well for what they're doing in the house.
100%.